The Colorado Buffalo and Deion Sanders have the college football world ablaze, and we're going to talk about it right here on DDS.
It is indeed. Welcome, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode of DDS Sports Talk. I am Blake Melton. This is Bradley Newberry here in the DDS studios. Brad, this year's just been a lot different in college football. And one of the big things that's made it different this year is there's something going on in Boulder.
A little something. There's multiple things going on in Boulder, Colorado.
I would agree.
The big headline is Deion Sanders,
right?
Brought his crew up there to coach, to lead a new squad.
Right.
Was it going to work? Is it just a media thing? I would say after a few weeks, Mr. Melton, this thing is working.
Yeah, I think, everybody, the bar was set really low, right? Colorado won one game last year. So I think that everybody thought that coming into this year that Deion was going to kind of get embarrassed. And honestly, I didn't know what to think. I personally, my thoughts were at the time when he took the job was that it's the Pac-12. They don't really play a lot of defense. They're known for offense. He was bringing Shedeur from Jackson State. Shedeur did really well at Jackson State, but how was that going to translate?
Right. Was he just coming because
was it just a dad? Yeah.
Was he, getting
right. The nepotism part of it was a big part of the question mark of the whole thing was Shedeur just going to be the quarterback just because dad was coming?
Right. Did we even know if he was any good or good enough to make that step? I think the majority of us, just regular Joe college football fan, had no clue.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea.
We found out week one.
Yep.
When they took on TCU.
Yeah.
And guess where they were playing? At TCU.
At TCU.
A road game. I mean, it's like the perfect storm to where it would set up Deion Sanders in the Colorado Buffalo to fail.
100%. It's a spot that they could go down there and get embarrassed game one. You're talking about a team that was in the national championship last year.
And people expected it, and they were not going to judge Deion Sanders on a road game against a team that was just in the national title.
Everybody in America was ready to give him a pass.
Yes.
He was ready. But I think that one of the things that people are coming to learn about Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is he is a leader. He is a motivator of men. And that is evident by his pregame speeches, by his halftime speeches. I mean, he's the kind of guy that I think kids just want to go run through a wall for. Having those kids ready. I mean, let's talk about Shedeur in that game.
Oh, okay.
As
a team,
yeah,
they go down there and win.
Yeah,
they were matching TCU touchdown for touchdown, or maybe I should say TCU was having to match.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Touchdown for touchdown. He was 38 of 47, 510 yards.
Video game stuff.
4 touchdowns, no picks. It quickly turned my eyes on. I'm like, whoa, I thought this was going to be a gimmick. This guy is college football real.
Well, that's the thing is it's not just like, some of the spread offense yardage that a lot of people get. Shedeur stands in there and throws the ball. He'll stand in there and take a hit, and he's throwing the ball to these guys. They've got some skill players, and one of them in particular I want to talk about right now, who is a rising star all of a sudden, Travis Hunter, a two-way player for Colorado who plays at a very high level on defense and on offense.
Yeah. And that game, I know you want to talk about him, but
briefly.
Dylan Edwards was the one in that game that had 3 receptions for touchdown.
I know. It's again,
Who are these
you're
people?
starting to
I mean,
see Coach Prime is attracting the skill guys. You know, the big knock on them right now, which we'll get into here in a minute, is up front. You know, do they have the big boys to be able to stand up to the kind of the more well-known and more establishment guys in the Pac-12? But my thing is when you have a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders that are putting up the numbers, when you have the skill guys, I mean, there's always a chance, right? There's a puncher's chance.
in college football, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can motivate kids to play on any given Saturday,
Yeah.
you don't know, these things like TCU happen, man. So they go from there. They go to their home opener.
Yep.
And absolutely
A rivalry game.
Wax Nebraska.
Yep.
It wasn't close.
Yep.
36-14. And now they're in the top 25.
Yeah, they play. And who they play last weekend? They played Colorado State.
That got spicy.
It did. Honestly,
we all saw this sideline hit. I think to the wide receiver that you.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. About. You know, he's probably going to be out this in their next game.
You know where Colorado State's playing this week?
Where's that?
In Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Ooh,
they're at Middle Tennessee State University.
Blue Raiders, baby, hometown team right there.
Unfortunately, Deion Sanders had to put out a lot of fires. Apparently, I read about death threats to this kid that hit the wide receiver from Colorado.
Totally uncalled for. This is the thing. This is one of the things I admire about Coach Prime. He's a old school guy. I don't think he gave two flips about it. I really don't. I think he just thinks that's football. He doesn't think that was anything special or anything like that, because back in his day, that's what they did, right? You know, if the ball was still moving, they're playing.
And don't you dare come over the middle.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, Deion Sanders himself didn't do much of this hitting.
Right.
You know, he's back there.
Absolutely. Hey, but you know what? I will say he did have a proud dad moment. You could see it in his eyes.
Oh my God. The pick
we saw another number 21 with Sanders written on his back. Pick six the other way. Shiloh Sanders. I mean, it's fun to watch, but
all right, what do they got coming up?
But the honeymoon period is over.
Starting this week.
They're going to Oregon, right?
Oh,
and this is
10.
I mean, look, Deion has brought the eyeballs, right? All of a sudden, College Game Day is following Colorado. Oregon, what are they favored? I think they're favored by a couple touchdowns at least, I do believe. But again, the big knock on Colorado, and it could come up to bite them in this game, is up front, both on the defensive and offensive line. Do they have enough bigs to be able to hold up against that big defensive front with Oregon? And are they going to be able to push people around enough on the offensive line? That's going to be kind of where it begins and ends.
Yeah, I think if it was video game style where none of your players got fatigued, you didn't have to substitute many people in and out, then it might be closer. But my fear is depth.
Oh yeah, well,
so I don't know if Colorado has
depth is the problem
to keep people fresh. You know,
yeah. But see, this is going to be
fun.
But this is the thing, though, man. And for those of you who follow this channel, I've never been sold on Bo Nix, ever, ever.
SEC guy,
yeah,
Auburn,
an SEC reject. Let's just call him what it is.
He's
an SEC reject. And this is the thing. I still think that if Colorado continues to be a motivated group of skill players, which is essentially what they are right now. If this was a 7-on-7 game with no lines, I would call this a toss-up. I don't think it's going to be nearly as lopsided as people think. I think there's a puncher's chance here for the Buffaloes to go in and really upset the apple cart even more than they already have.
I'm sure I wish I had Parker on this one. There'll be plenty of bets and money coming in on Colorado, both the money line. You get some value there. You get to take some points if you wish with a point spread, but maybe you could parlay that together and get a bigger payout. But there'll be a lot of money on Colorado just because people want to see it.
Yeah.
And people want to see what's coming next week.
Yep.
USC.
Yep.
Makes a trip to Colorado.
Yep.
Colorado, and those fans are going to be rocking. Caleb Williams.
I mean, it's going to be a big time environment. All of a sudden, any game with Colorado is going to be a real big freaking deal. There's actually reports out right now that it's kind of estimated that the Deion Sanders effect for Colorado could be $1 billion effect for the university.
So how long can Colorado keep him?
I mean, dude, that is the $64,000 question right there.
I personally think that he is more likely to stay while his kids are there. I think the
100%.
NFL wants him now. Bigger colleges want him now, but he get the sense from Deion himself, Coach Prime, he's locked into Colorado as long as his kids are there.
See, I disagree with you.
Really?
I think that the bigger colleges do not want him.
Oh,
I think that they don't, and this has been well reported on. I think that they don't like the way that he does things. They don't like that he talks about it. They don't like that he goes out there and gets boisterous and he's appealing to the kids rather than the old people, right? He does all this hyping up stuff, and the kids eat it up. I mean, that's what we're seeing.
What is college football though?
It's kids.
In essence, it's about the kids.
Yeah.
So what the hell's wrong with that?
And see, that's
a positive.
And on continue that, I think that's also why I don't think that he's really an NFL guy. That's not saying he won't go to the NFL.
I could see that. But
I think that he has found a good spot there at Colorado. I think he's there for at least a few more years. What happens past that, all bets are off once his kids leave for sure. I think he'll get his kids to stay one more year. Because I think
where would they go in your mind? They're not leaving.
Well, Shedeur would be eligible for the NFL.
No,
well, he would be eligible for the draft. Is what I'm saying.
No,
but I think he would. I think that under the advisement of his father
in the whole world,
he would stay there another year, prove it, go run the Big 12 next year.
I'm sorry, we've talked about it on this podcast many times. There's a difference between college quarterbacks and NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying can't be an NFL quarterback, but
I don't think we've seen a big enough body of work yet.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, stay. You're not ready.
I mean, right now, I want to see him play against more top-notch talent. I want to see it first, and I think that we need more than 1 year to be able to prove that to people, and just to make sure that this wasn't a flash in the pan.
Stay in school.
Yeah. Well, that's Colorado.
And I'm excited. I know everyone that has a pulse about college football is excited about Colorado. A nice start. They're now ranked. They're getting the pub.
Absolutely they are. And well, I mean,
they have some fun games coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the results coming up here against higher level competition. Down there in the comments, tell me what you think about Coach Prime. Is he threatening kind of the old guard of coaches and ADs out there? Is that a good thing? Yeah, is that a good thing? I would love that conversation to start down there in the comments.
And tell me if I'm wrong about Shedeur too, because I'm leaning like he's a perfect example of a college quarterback.
He may be right.
I don't know if I see it in the pros.
You may be right. Does he need more time in a high level college offense to be able to prove himself?
I think we'll see him in XFL or something like that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm not saying anything negative about it. I just don't see.
I get it. I get it. Well, I mean, you look at it, he is undersized. He's not a 6'5" guy.
He doesn't have to be.
I mean, but
we've got plenty of examples in NFL. You don't have to be.
For sure. Well,
but we ain't going down the NFL road on this.
No, not just yet.
Just tell me that I'm wrong, because I can see it both ways. I'm not feeling it.
Tell us what you think. Tell me, is Brad wrong here? Is he wrong?
Probably.
Tell me down in the comments. But guys, that's all we got for this one. We'll catch you next time.